Rev up your engines! Today I'm going to show you how to avoid some devious automotive scams that people have been pulling lately. And the first one has to do with you're filling your car up with gas, but people come and say, oh, let me help you, especially if you're a little old lady or somebody. Oh, we'll pump the gas for you. Now, these people can be real insistent that they want to put the gas in your car, but don't let them, because if they do, there's a big scam they pull. They'll fill your car up with gas, so you sitting there and wait. We'll fill up. Don't let them touch your car. Because what they'll do is this. They'll take the gas pump out of your car, close it, and stand here holding on to this. They won't put it away. And then they'll fill a bunch of other people's cars up, and they'll say, sell somebody $30 of gas, and maybe say, oh, give me 10 bucks, 15 bucks to fill your gas up. You'll get a bill in the mail. You got to make sure that it's put away and the deal is done like it is now. Now, of course, they can't pump anymore. The receipts come out. Lately, a whole bunch of people have been scammed this way, so look out. And while you're at it, when you're pumping your own gas, put your hand in here. Some guys have card readers. They'll come out. This will be loose. Then go away. Don't use that pump. My advice is go to a different station. If they've let people stuck things in here, they're not watching that front very well. It takes a second to do that, and that's an even worse scam because they'll get your credit card number and they can start charging stuff like mad. So always check the machine before you put your card in. Now the next insidious scam is something that happens in parking lots all the time. People stick money on your windshield. It may or may not be real, right? But if you're walking up, you'll notice it's almost always on the passenger side. So if you've unlocked your doors, you come over here and reach for the money, got out of your car, leaving your keys in the car to grab the money, they will steal your car. And if you didn't leave your keys in, but it's unlocked, they'll steal whatever's in your car. Let's say you do come to a car. You're walking over, you see the money. Hey, don't even bother. Get in the car and drive away. You can stop later down the road to see if the money's real or not. And here's the kicker. Most of the time it isn't real. It's monopoly money or fake money or counterfeit money. It's not even real money, right? Don't get suckered. You see there's money, oh, free money? Put your mind at ease. Get in the car. Drive away. Now another scam is the flat tire scam. You go to the store and people come, nobody's looking, they let the air out of your tire. Then you come, you got a flat tire, they come up to you, I can change your flat tire, or I can take it to a gas station and get it fixed for you, blah, blah, blah. Now generally it takes a long time for a tire to go flat. So let's say you got a nail or something in the tire and it's gone flat. It's not going to generally get flat while you go to the store. The light already be on for your tire pressure monitoring system, the TPMS. That'll be on, and you'll know you got a low tire somewhere, so you should get it fixed, put air, or whatever. But if you come back from a store, your light was never on, all of a sudden you got a flat tire, now your light's on, odds are they let the air out of the tire. So you don't want to deal with these people. This is why, amongst other reasons, I always keep an air compressor in all my car's trunks. Something like this, hey, you just turn it on, it'll pump your tire up, right? It's good to have these for safety reasons. Now, this particular one is a JF Eglo. I've had this thing for years. It's still got 80% of its power left, and I've never recharged it. Granted, it lives in the trunk. I don't use it that often. The lithium-ion battery in this thing is pretty good battery because it's been sitting there for years, and it's still pumping up. And push comes to shove, it's got an adapter. You can plug it into a cigarette lighter, so if the battery did go bad, you can use a cigarette lighter to run it to pump up your tires. But like I say, I've had this thing for years sitting in the trunk, still at 80% charge, so it's got a pretty good battery for pumping up tires. You gotta watch out for scams like this. They let the air out of your tire, and then who knows, sometimes they'll take it to a gas station and then, hey, maybe they'll steal your tire, or they'll want to charge you a whole bunch of money just because they let the air out of your tire. You gotta pump. Anybody can use it. Put the air back in the tire. Be wary of scams like this. And in order to avoid scams like this, the best thing to do is park as close to the front of any parking area that you can. People can't be letting air out of tires in broad view when everybody's coming out of Walmart by the door. If you're close to the door, they can't sit there, let the air out of the tire. People are gonna see them. And if you ever do get a scam like this pulled on you, go into the store and say there's people in there letting air out of the tires. They can even look at the security cameras. They could arrest the people. You wanna stop this stuff before it gets too big. Now, there is a more vicious parking lot scam that people pull, and that is the fake accident. People have a car that's already bashed and scratched. They'll park next to your car and they will actually scratch your car with a piece that's the same color as the paint on their car, and they come up and say, you hit my car in the parking lot, and they're demanding money. Now this happens more often than you might think, and of course it's vicious because they have scratched your car, right? In this case, you know that you didn't run into anybody, right? Forget the whole thing. Get your phone out, call the police, say this guy's trying to scam me. He said I ran into his car. I didn't, and he scratched my car while I was there. Generally, you make that phone call, those clowns are gonna skedaddle. Take a picture of their car and themselves if you can. At least get the license plate. People have done that for ages. They'll continue to do it because they can get away with it by scaring people. Oh, I didn't know I scratched your car. Oh, here's some money. As soon as you see something like that, and you know you didn't run into anybody, if anything, if the scratches on your car that match theirs, they ran into you, in which case they created the whole thing. Call the police if that happens. These scammers do not want to deal with the police. Believe me, most of them have been in jail for something here or there. They check out the people's records. And to avoid something like this, hey, you might do the opposite. You might park a little bit further away so there's no cars around you, right? Nobody's going to try to pull a scam when you're the only car there and park next to you ran into my car, because there's nobody there, right? Nobody's going to fall for that. When you're all tightly packed in, that's another story. But regardless, if somebody tries to pull the scam, call the manager of the store too. If you're in a store parking lot, they got cameras, right? And the camera will show that clown coming out and scratching your car. In this case, the cameras can really do you a big favor. You can make a hit and run report then. If they scratched your car, that's malicious damage. So if enough people can stop these criminals from starting this up in the first place, they'll stop doing it because they'll wise up that everyone is watching. And another scam is the old fake antifreeze leak scam. The crooks will have a little antifreeze. When you're gone, they'll pour it on the ground under your car and say, oh, you're leaking antifreeze. Hey, I'm a mechanic, I can fix it. Now, most of these guys won't go so far as to actually knock a hole in your radiator or cut a radiator hose. That's actual work. If your car's running fine, you start it up, move it over there, and it's not dripping down, they're trying to pull a scam on you. And regardless, you don't want some clown in a parking lot saying, oh, I fix cars, I'll take care of you, blah, 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 blah. People have been doing those scams for decades, telling you they can fix something, that it could be coolant, it could be they could pour engine oil on the ground, anything to try to scare you. Let's face the facts. If your car was running fine going into the store, it isn't going to break sitting there in the parking lot, right? If something has gone wrong, a flat tire, coolant, oil leaking on the ground, be very leery if anybody comes up and says they're going to help you out, because in reality they're just helping themselves to money in your wallet by some scam that you're trying to pull on you. A really insidious car scam, the drive down scam. You'll be at an intersection and the person on the other side, even though they have the right of way, right, they wave you on, and as you start to go, they pull out in front and you run into them. Now these are the more dangerous types of scams, and there are people that do it because there are rules of the road. That guy has the right of way and you hit him in the intersection, it's your fault. But officer, he waved me on. Well, he may be waving you on to take some money off your insurance company. These people often know guys in body shops, so they get a cheap fix and they make a profit, and a lot of them are doing stuff like soft tissue damage to themselves where they sue the insurance companies for money. They all know that insurance companies don't like to go to court, so if there's some type of injury and they're willing to take $5,000 or $10,000 for injuries, they'll do it. I even had that happen to my wife when we were in Houston, Texas. The woman made a U-turn and ran into my wife, and then she claimed soft tissue damage, right? And my insurance company at the time paid them. Wasn't much. I think it was $8,000, but still, it's $8,000, right? And I, being an honorable man, I was pissed. So I said, I want to take him to court. And you know what my insurance company said? They said to me, if you take him to court, we'll drop you and we won't insure you anymore. They don't want to get involved in going to court. Lawyers are expensive. They can lose, yada, yada, right? They didn't even care that we're in the right and the other person was in the wrong. And everybody knew it was soft tissue damage BS you can't prove. Does that hurt? Oh man, that really hurts, you know? Back in the day when I was young, they had whiplash. I got whiplash. You can't prove if somebody's neck is sore, right? But they can't do whiplash like they used to. Cars have headrests, so your head can't whip behind the chair because it hits the headrest. Believe it or not, that's one of the reasons there's headrests. It's not just to rest your head on while you're getting tired, right? So the next time somebody tries to wave you around them, maybe just wave back at them and say, no, 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 you go, you go. They might be one of these scammers. Hey, they're out there. Don't think they aren't out there. Now, the next scam I'm going to talk about is a tow truck scam. Let's say, God forbid, you get in an accident, right? It happens. The tow truck driver comes and says, oh, yeah, I'll tow you over. I'll tell you to my friend who does good work, right? Don't follow that information, because most of those guys are called bird doggers. They'll get a big bonus from the shop that's doing the work. The shop might not do such good work. It might charge too much money, right? Realize you have rights. You get in a wreck, you have the right to have the vehicle towed anywhere, right? This is why I tell people, find guys like me. I'm not a body man, but I know good body men. Put it on your phone. So if you get in a wreck, you got their number, you can call them up, say, Joe, I'm towing my car over there. It was a wreck. He'll say, thank you very much. We'll come and pick it up. Or the guy that's there with the tow truck, if he's the only one there, you say, here's your towing it to this address. By law, they have to tow it there. But let's say you just saw this video and you got in a wreck and you don't know a body shop, okay? Tow it back to your house. By law, they got to tow wherever you want. Tow the car back to your house. Because then, when you find a body shop, ask your friends, neighbors, whatever, the body shop is more than happy to come with their tow truck to your house to tow it to their body shop and then do the work. You have the right to have it towed. Don't be scammed by some tow truck driver. You wonder why you see all those tow truck drivers driving like maniacs, swerving in traffic, trying to get to the wreck first? It's because potentially they can make an awful lot of money. And they're not going to be able to scam you if you know your rights and either tow it to your shop that you know, or if unfortunately you don't know one, tow it home first. Then deal with it from there. And you won't be dealing with strange people that you don't know. Are they doing good work? Are they getting big kickbacks from the body shop? Meaning they'll do crappier work because they got to pay the tow truck driver a whole bunch of money. Realize you have rights and follow up on it. If you don't know a good body shop, have it towed to your house. So now you know how not to get scammed by some of these common scams people are pulling on cars. And hey, if you've got a scam that I didn't cover, or maybe a new one that just popped up, hey, email it to me, ScottyKilmer@gmail.com. I love to help people out. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.